Today on In the Woodyard, I'm back at my brother Ken's. And guess what we're going to do today? What are we going to do today?
We're going to talk about inventory.
We're going to talk about inventory. Here we go. So I get asked all the time by guys on the channel, how do you keep track of that much wood? When you've got piles all over and you're constantly getting new wood in, wood's going out, you're getting new logs in, you're getting pieces in, you're cutting free wood. And it is a challenge to keep track of. You gotta keep track of it somehow. I remember pretty much what I'm doing because you spend so much time with each pile.
Yes.
You know when you cut it. You remember the conditions.
Yes.
You remember it was hot. You remember
it was cold. You remember it was raining. It was muddy.
Or where you, if you cut free wood, you know where you went and got it. So you kind of remember each spot. But you kind of sometimes you get like, oh, I can't remember.
I mean, it's a little fuzzy sometimes. Like, when did I cut that? Where did I get that wood? It's like, not sure.
Last fall or last spring.
Well,
what's nice about it, having a good memory or a map like Kenny's got, you don't have to check your wood as often as far as moisture meter.
I don't worry about it. I don't worry about that.
But I do check mine because I know when wood was cut, and then I'll check it before I sell it. The first batch from that pile, like, oh yeah, it's good to go. But if you got a map with time on it, when you cut it, that helps.
Well, I don't know time on it, but I know these piles over here. When I first started this wood yard, it was me and Leroy. We had wood from this corner down to about where those blocks are. That's the blocks we were dumping in a different video. I got to repile them, but that was it, this little section. But it was just for us. It was just our wood. We cut it by hand, we split it. And these piles are 10 rows, and they're 2 cord rows, 10 rows deep. So there's 20 cords every section. So there's 5 sections here. If they're all full, that's 100 cords. And that was all pretty much cut at the same time. Face cords. Right. And that's all I deal with is face cords. I don't do all this full cord and third of a cord crap. It's a face cord. We're in Wisconsin. Wisconsin people know that. Michigan guys know that.
And for those of you that aren't from our area, that is what we go by. Because there are people on the channel make comments, what the heck is a face cord? Well, tell them what a face cord is.
A face cord is 8 feet long, 4 feet high, 16 inches deep.
And if you have
that's a face cord.
You have 3 of those.
That's over a cord, actually. It's a smidge over, but yeah. A full cord, a logger's cord, like them piles over there, if you can see those, is 8 feet long. 4 foot by 4 foot is 1 cord.
Right.
And you'll get between 2.5 to 2 3/4, up to 3 cords, face cords, for each one of those cords, depending on the wood and variables. So I actually have a map here because I had to see what I had in inventory and what's going to go where and what's older, what's newer, what can I move next. So this stuff here is all golden, except for the stuff with the blocks in front of it. That I just cut in March and April and May, maybe even somewhere's in there. So that's why I dumped them blocks in front of there. I don't care if it's blocked off. But this pile here is ready to go. This pile here is ready to go. They've been here for 2.5 years. And them end piles down there with the black tarps on top, that's the first stuff's got to go out of here. And I did take some rows off the front, so that the first row down there by the truck, I think I took 2 rows off, so there's only 16 there. And the next one I took 1 off, so there's only 18 there, whatever. But then, like, I got my map here because I had to scale all these up to see what I had. This is 14 cords here, face cords. This is 16, so this whole pile is 30.
And then you got some bundles on top.
Yeah, we just did this yesterday. That's cherry bundles up there. I had to get them out of the way someplace, so that doesn't even count. And then this pile over here, if you come look at it. And I put a gap in between to get some more airflow. So them are 5 cord rows. And them are 3 face cords long, so that whole pile there is 30 cords.
Another 30. Yep.
And I have a guy that's actually, this is going to be dry enough. This half of this pile will be gone here this fall. This is already sold. And so this pile over here, that's my fuel tank, by the way. That's my 55-gallon drum of diesel fuel there.
Nice.
That's how I fuel my tractor.
That's good.
It's just gravity feed with a little valve on it. It's all I need. I don't have to run a half a mile down to the gas station. So this stuff here was wood that was almost dry when I got it. It was big, oversized, nasty stuff, so it's kind of more like boiler wood. And what do I got on here? There's 20 cords here. Well, a guy I know, he says, oh yeah, maybe I'll just buy all my wood from you. So I said, well, I got a pile for you. So I'm thinking this whole pile is going to be sold too.
Maple?
There's a lot of maple, there's hickory in there, there's oak in there, it's yellow birch. It's a mixture, but it's all good wood. So I got to cut up this little bit of wood that's underneath these piles. I got to finish with those blocks over there. So one of these days, and this whole pile will probably be gone in the next month or two.
That's good then. Then you're gonna have from down where your logs are down there.
Yeah, I'll have this huge.
Over to here is gonna be.
I'll have a huge area cleaned out where I can deliver more wood in there if I need to.
Now you got room for what? 4 more truckloads?
Oh yeah, easy. I don't really need it though. I got a lot of wood right now. All right, I got to turn my map around here. Where are we?
Well, you want to go back and do this other, or start from the other side, so we don't have to go back around.
Well, that right there, where it pretty much is 100 cords minus a little bit. This pile here, if you guys seen the video last winter where we were cutting and splitting and throwing, I was running out that pile, throwing this big monster up, that's this pile.
Right.
And there was actually more wood than this would take. That's 32 cords in that pile right there.
Oh, okay.
This is just my cedar, I don't even count that. This is just my kindling I sell out front of the house.
But you bought a truckload of cedar.
I bought a truckload of cedar, it's out in the field.
And how are you doing on the sales for it?
It kind of comes and goes. It's like, depends on the weekend, you know.
Firewood?
Camp firewood. I mean, I sell it for cedar. To me, it's kindling. It's for starting your fire.
Right.
And in the wintertime, I sell more. I mean, you could put a match to this and light it. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like paper.
It's like tissue paper.
And yeah, that's my bundle. So,
But it smells good.
well, you can't smell it right now. It's so dry. But you know, this is another load that's probably going to get piled over here once I clear all this out. That's going to be another, you know, it's about 25 face
You
cords.
still got some big stuff back there from last winter.
Well, that's
right?
pine. That's like my campfire wood.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's for campfire wood.
Oh, white pine?
White pine, I see there's a popple in there. There's a spruce in there. 2 poplars, another
Pretty
popple.
big stuff, though.
Yeah, it's just big ugly stuff. I got the wood for free, so
Oh, price was right.
price was right. This little pile here, this is my campfire wood. That's pine, popple, basswood, whatever.
Yep.
Like I don't even hardly count that because like whatever, it's kindling.
This we talked about the other day. This is all the railroad ties.
Yeah, reject ties. So this pile here, this was cut a year and a half ago. This is all pretty much all hard maple. There's a little bit of odds and ends in here. I see some hickory in there. I see some ash. But this is 32 phase cords in this pile. This is going to be the next pile to go after whatever. This needs to be gone this year. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it's totally dry, ready to go.
And what do you got on the other side?
On the other side is a load of reject from the mill that I bought for my neighbor here. There's his house right there. And I pay my rent here because I don't own this land. So I pay him with firewood. I heat his house. He heats that big shop. He's got a big boiler. He burns a lot of wood. So I got this wood just for him. And I don't know if you can see that pile over there if you come over here, Chris.
There later, yeah. We'll head over there later.
There's a pile out there behind them dirt piles. That's his.
So this was reject stuff?
This is reject. This is either oversized, crooked, or got metal in it.
What'd you pay for this?
Let me think. No.
59 cents?
$20 a cord.
That's what I said.
$20 a
Not
cord.
very much.
No. Well, I had to pay the trucking.
Yeah.
So, and this is 2 loads of stuff I bought from the sawmill here. So anything that's round has got metal in it. It's got staples in it, nails, tree steps, or something. It got kicked out of the metal detector, yep.
Yep.
And any of the square stuff is just reject railroad ties. Obviously, you could tell why this one got rejected. It's hollow.
Full
They don't want hollow railroad ties.
Right.
So there's some kind of defect in every one of them. So I bought these reasonably cheap too. I mean, trucking it cost me 50 bucks a cord. And then this is a load of, well, mostly oak, but not all oak. Let's see, what do we got in this pile? I got to find myself in the map here. Okay, Okay, so there's 34 cords in this first pile. Well, there's a gap in them someplace here. And then it's 12, and then 10, and then 8. It got wider and wider as we came down.
How many rows out are you?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to look. You ain't gonna be able to tell because I ran out of space. What happened? I ended the pile, but I still had enough fabric down to put some more pallets. So then I ran 2 rows across the end, which now blocks how many rows you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7.
At least, yeah. Well, I had a guy ask me the other day on the channel, why do you waste your time to stack wood? Tell him why.
You got to keep it dry. You can leave it lay on the ground.
Number 1. Number 2, when you go to sell it.
I drive up to the pile. I know it's there.
Yeah.
If somebody says I need 2 cords, 3 cords, 5 cords, I got rows that are all those numbers. I take the row. I'm done. I don't have to stack it. I don't have to measure.
It's nice when you got a dump trailer. Just throw it in.
Chuck it in and go. Chuck it and go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you got, the only way to really truly know how much wood you got is to stack.
It needs to be stacked.
At one point, you need to stack it.
Yep. Yep.
If you're selling it. But if you're just for yourself, yeah,
And well, these are 2 cord rows here. I can see that right there.
Yep.
And so according to my map, that's, where are we at here? That's 12 cords.
Yeah.
And then it's down to 10. And then it's down to 8. So
You got wood way over there.
and this,
way down there.
that stuff way down there, I'm going to get sawed. That's white pines, butt cut saw logs.
Oh, okay.
That's got to get done this summer. I don't know when, but so yeah, this is only another section. And I moved last year out in the field over there.
Let's go look at that next.
We'll go down there and look. So what's deceptive was this pile. This was 2 full truckloads, weight-wise for the truck, and they can only haul 98,000 pounds here in Wisconsin. So this is either probably a 12-footer. I think these are all 12s. This might be a 14-footer. I don't know. That's a big piece of wood there, man. That's a King Kong.
I'd like to try to lift that with my tractor.
I guarantee you, I ain't lifting that with my tractor. No way.
I don't want to.
And this one here, see, this has got metal in it. So, and this is another one, metal in it. But I'll tell you what, there is a lot of wood in them big humma jumbas there.
Yep, that's a lot of wood.
So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, like this, okay, yeah, it's rotten in the middle. You're gonna lose all of that, but the price was right. So this is more my my rent.
Your ugly wood.
My rent for Todd's boiler up there. So I'm just giving this all to him for free because most of it I couldn't sell anyways, and he don't care what it is. Everything burns in the boiler. It's ugly. There's a lot of basswood in here, which is going to burn like paper, but he don't care. It's good for September, October fires. Yep. I mean, this pile here, some of this I could see, actually this whole front row or 2 came off of them blocks over there.
Right.
So there's 6 cords of them blocks right here, like we just did the other day here. So according to my map, there's 21 cords here. So there's 3 cord rows or 7 rows.
And on the end, what do you got?
And that's all cedar. That's all going to be kindling eventually.
So are you going to split it eventually as you need it, or what's the...
Well, that's kind of one of the things. I got to get a bunch of head.
Yeah.
So
this is the no fabric we talked about?
yeah, I dumped some dirt on here because I was screening out dirt for coyote trapping in the fall.
Oh, yeah.
And then I tried to get it off here with the tractor, and I mangled it all, and I pulled it out from underneath my pallets. Like, God dang it, I got to start over here. But
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I like to put pallets down and to move all this split over here.
Yeah.
And then I can pile hybrid or something else here.
Right.
It's just, you can only do so much in a day. So the other day, the wife came home, she cleans at church. She comes home from church, she says, you know, they're looking for pallets because they want to build like a maze for the kids for some kind of Oktoberfest thing. I said, yeah, I got some pallets, but I don't know if I got enough of what they need. So I'm sitting there watching Chris on YouTube, 9 o'clock in the morning. My phone rings. Hey, do you need any more pallets? They called me to come get them. Boom. I have a lot of pallets. I mean, there's a lot of junk in here. You're going to pick through them. There's busted stuff, but there's a lot of good pallets in here. So
A lot of oversized ones, but they certainly work.
I don't mind them oversized ones. Yeah. I got a tractor to handle them, so no big deal. This is a pile that me and Leroy just finished yesterday, I think. This was them square blocks, some beautiful little square blocks. There's 18, yeah, well, it's marked as logs, logs, they got to mark the footage on the ends and whatever, so.
How much you got
it's
here?
18 cords right here.
And that's pretty well.
That's not even on the map. And then this pile here is just some leftover icky stuff that I got sold. That's all sold too. I just had to get it off the ground. And then this pile here is about 30 cores too. This is where we were piling on that last video, one of their videos. At last end we filled it back in. And this pile here is about 30 cores minus whatever's missing here. So there's 2 cords here.
Stuff out of here.
No, I was selling wood and I started pulling it out of here. So, but then you got to prop it up to hold up the ceiling there. So, and that's pretty much it. Other than that pile right there.
What's that? Looks like some maple.
That's a real nice maple. I cut that last winter, or actually spring. I cut that in April, maybe May, April or May. I cut this, and I got another 2 loads of this coming. But I told the guy, I said, just wait till I got more room, because I kind of like to just.
So is this 1 truckload here?
This is 1 truckload.
And you got 2 more coming?
Yes.
And you got that for how much?
Free.
Prices?
I had to cut it.
You just wanted.
But the guy had a gravel pit, and he says, you come cut the wood, you can have it, I will skid it, you get somebody to haul it. So I got a guy that I worked for last winter when I cut the big white pine job. He owes me for logging, because I didn't get paid nothing for that job. So we're just trading firewood and trucking back and forth, and so he owes me a load, and he's got another load to bring me, and it's like, so that's like, eventually get paid.
Yeah. Well, that's good deals to do though. To do deals with guys for trading stuff. I'm working on.
There's no money exchange. It's like he brings me wood. This guy calls me. He wants wood removed. He skidded it.
Yep.
I helped him out. He gave me the wood. He skidded the wood. So all I had in the game was some labor.
Well, the barter is a good way to do stuff. I got working on a deal right now with a guy that wants to sell me a piece of equipment, and he's going to give me barkless logs. And then I got another guy that's interested in my chunk pieces, all my odds and ends for boiler wood. He said he would give me logs.
There you go.
He can't cut wood, and he has access to wood, so he'll get good not small. There's chunks of wood that he can burn in his boiler, and he has access to wood, and that's a good deal for me, because I got wood that I can sell that's worth more.
So yeah, we're in the wood yard.
Yeah. So that's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Hit the buttons. You know what to do. Hit the like, the subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We'll be back tomorrow doing more work, because that's what we do. Between now and then, get outside, get cutting.
Good night, Irene.